Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Chicago. And tonight our question comes to us from Tulip Tree. And Tulip Tree discusses having encountered different variations of the Wiccan Rede, and asks what my opinion of this is. And the Wiccan Rede, as the term is generally used in the Wiccan community, refers to the maxim, do as you will but harm none, or variations on that wording. And this is basically a common sense corollary to the law of Thelema, do as you will, which has been around for many hundreds of years, but became very popular in metaphysical usage at the turn of the last century. And the and it harm none part, I think, is just a perfectly common sense reaction to do as you will, and I think it should be pretty much taken that way. Some people have taken the Wiccan Rede and tried to inflate it into an enormity that is impossible to live by. I think that it's very easy to live by if you understand harm to mean what it would mean in normal conversation. Having said that, this is not what Tulip Tree is asking about. There is also a poem called the Wiccan Rede, which is a much longer statement that involves many other practices that are wound into the couplets of the poem. And this poem, as I understand it, was originally written by a woman by the name of Adriana Porter, although there is some controversy as to its origins, and it includes many practices that are specific either to the tradition that she belonged to or her particular practices, and in my opinion it really needs to be looked at as what it is, a poem. It's a personal statement of faith on her part, and a lovely sentiment, but the practices she describes within it are certainly not incumbent upon anyone else. And while there may very well be variations on the wording, they really don't mean anything, because it's not what we mean when we normally talk about the Wiccan Rede as a major statement of the Wiccan religion. The Wiccan Rede poem is a lovely poem that certainly should be respected as a major part of Wiccan history, and many, many people know it or have encountered it, but it is not certainly something that would apply outside of the tradition of the person who wrote it. Whereas the statement of the Wiccan Rede, do as you will but harm none, is generally accepted by most Wiccans. At one time I would have said all Wiccans. I don't know that you could still say that today, but that's because some people inflated it so far that others chose to reject it. And this is why in the Correllian tradition we are very strong on the point that the harm in a harm none must be taken as it would be used in ordinary conversation and not in any other way. So, those are my thoughts on this matter. I hope you find them interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be.